Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. Welcome to the final episode of 2022. The final episode of this year. The final episode of this year for the Just With Josh. I'm pleased to join you. It is New Year's Eve. And I am here. And I am here with you. And together we are here to kind of commemorate and in ceremony remember this year and wish good tidings and renewal of strength and empowerment of energy in the new year. We have a war for the human spirit, and anyone that knows it knows it. And we know it's been a wild year. We know it's been a series of ups and downs. This is my idea of like a New Year's intro here, because it is. And this is my first time ever doing a New Year's episode, and I can't believe it. You know, we booted this show up back in, I think it was maybe June. Maybe it was May. Actually, it might have been May. I'm not sure, but I believe it was the spring. And you know, when I started the show, it was kind of because there was all this crazy stuff going on in the world, and you know, I feel like I was seeing some stuff that, you know, when I talk to my friends and I talk to those around me, a lot of them, they don't always see things the way I do. They don't always understand what I'm talking about. They think I'm crazy. So I felt like by creating a show to discuss the world and its state and some of the crazier stuff going on, it would be a way for me to kind of express myself and get you know, all this crap that I got, you know, built up inside of me out there. And geez, over the course of the past 8 months, you know, a lot's happened. I mean, Andrew Tate's been deplatformed. Kanye West has been, you know, had his reputation destroyed. You know, the globalists have backed off. The pandemic effectively, you know, they don't got us wearing masks anymore, for the love of God. You know, you don't have to have a vaccine. You know, Elon Musk now owns Twitter. So you can now talk shit again on Twitter to a certain extent. I called some lady a fucking bitch. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that. Now that I'm gonna automatically censored by the YouTube algorithm. But on Twitter, I called a lady and yeah, that wasn't cool. And I've been waiting on an appeal for a week for that one, because I'm appealing it. I'm not backing down. Like, I believe on Elon Musk's Twitter, I should be able to call a lady a, you know, B-word, and that's my prerogative, and that's what we should be able to do in a good and free country. What, you can't call somebody stupid? You can't call somebody a mother R-word? You can't haul, you know what I mean? I mean, if we can't haul off on each other verbally, how are we supposed to express ourselves? You know, all these LGBTQ and all these bisexual people, they get to express themselves. You know, I want to express myself. You know, this is just another example of how they're coming at us as a white man. But you know what? The tides have been turning and things have been changing for us. You know, Kanye's, he's off on the grid. No one knows where he is, allegedly, according to his manager, who he may have just fired and stopped talking to. But he's off the grid. He's firing out music. 5:30 was a single that was leaked, you know. Andrew Tate, just yesterday, was arrested. Him and his brother were arrested for human trafficking, allegedly, and then it wasn't human trafficking, and then they weren't arrested, and they got released, or they didn't get released, and I have no idea. I couldn't tell you at this point, as of December 31st, 2022, New Year's Eve, I can't tell you whether or not they've been arrested or not. But the tides have been turning, and we're winning. Okay, and who knows what 2023 is going to hold. It's a year of renewal. it's like in this moment, in the new year, everything of old in 2022, it's like it's symbolically been written, and that's now the past, and we're going into a new year, and now for this year, there's going to be, when they write the history of this year, it's going to be 2023. Now we're in that new year, and it's like, what do we got? What's going to happen next? How are we going? Are we finally going to rise up against our corrupt, politically feminine, communist, satanic, moloch, Baal worshipping overlords? Are we finally going to rise up? Is this the year? Because it feels like this might be the year. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of a movie called All Things Fall from the 1980s, of a man who, there's a scene from this movie where this guy's just fed up with the world, and he's had enough of getting fucked around, frankly, and he's spent a little bit too much time looking at the WikiLeaks. He spent a little bit too much time, on the internet. He's a little bit too enlightened, or as the liberals would say, he's a little too, he's a little off the beaten path. Okay, he's not good. He's a terrorist. Okay. Nowadays, we have a word for, we would call them terrorists. But this movie came out before 9/11, actually. And it's a movie about this guy who just kind of snaps. And he's had it up with the system, okay? And he's going down the street. And he's driving down the street, and he sees a guy, one of these construction workers, and he's fixing the road. And he's just pissed off. He's like, I know how these guys work. Like, I know how this whole system works. Like, these guys are getting paid to do nothing. Like, they're just trying to, it's all just a big charade. Like, these roads don't really need fixing. They're just pretending to fix potholes, to get the money from the city, and they're paying off the city for these jobs. And he has a gun in his pocket. He starts questioning this guy, and this guy, like, at first he's like an asshole. He's like, yeah, like, like, yeah, I don't know. Why don't you go kiss my ass, kind of thing. And then he sees Buddy has a gun in his fucking front pocket, and then he's scared all of a sudden, okay? And I don't know why that's coming up in my YouTube recommendation shorts in 2022 on the eve of 2023, but I feel like that's symbolic, I hope not. Like, I hope not, because I was actually one of those road construction guys, like the held the sign, the stop and go guy. And, people get pissed off at that guy. So, I mean, I would hate to be working and one day some guy just, says, like, hey, you guys aren't actually doing any work here, are you? You guys are just trying to scam the taxpayers, eh? Like, I'm just sitting there getting paid $16 an hour to hold the fucking sign. And all of a sudden, this guy's getting out of his fucking, lifted truck with a shotgun probably or something at his back, question me and wonder why we're screwing them over. And you know what? I'm on Buddy's side. And that's exactly what I would say. I'd be like, hey, listen, guy, I've been sitting here for 8 hours, and I know they're not doing shit. And you know what? If you got enough money, if you can pay me an hourly wage of $20 an hour, I'll hand me I'm on board with you. We can do this together, but don't attack me. Don't kill me just because I'm a part of the road maintenance crew. I'm sorry that your society and the economy and how the political structure has integrated with private and not-for-profit monopolies and oligopolies have combined and worked together and collectivized and concerted to work together to screw you over. I'm sorry that happened, okay? I'm sorry, but don't punish me, okay? And I know it's hard. I know a lot of people, they're dumb. They don't know why they're poor, okay? They're not like me. They haven't read, Ender's Game. They don't understand Words, frankly, they don't understand words. 90% of people today, they've like 90% of people, 95% of their vocabulary has diminished in 2023. People are forgetting words. Okay, they don't even have the words to express why they're upset anymore. They don't even know why they're mad. They don't know why they're poor. They don't know why they're mad. And now they're just ready to lash out. These people are they're living on in your streets. They're your neighbors. They're going. You're seeing them in the stores. They're coming. They're your pastors at your churches. Okay, they're your people going to your church. You know, that's your community. It's everybody around you. It's not just like a 1984 fantasy novel anymore. It's not just an idea. It's not just some silly conspiracy theorist YouTube channeler's fantasy anymore. It's actually the reality. But it's important at a time like that, when anarchy is at bay, to remember to be kind to each other. All right, we just got through with Christmas. Okay, Christmas, Christ, the birth of Jesus. Be kind to one another. Forgive one another. Go easy. Don't kill the guy. Don't kill the project manager at your local road pothole maintenance crew. Don't kill the local pothole maintenance crew, okay? They don't deserve it. I'm not saying don't express yourself. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I mean, I just got done saying, I had all these feelings and thoughts and how compressed I was and how I needed to express myself. And you should express yourself, but you should do so in a way that is kind and righteous. Ask yourself, what would Jesus do? Okay? Before you do stuff. A lot of you are degenerated and illiterate to the point where Jesus is just a fancy word. It's just something you say when something jumps out and scares you. Like, Jesus, oh, that scared me, But yeah, I think it's I think the best thing. I think that what is the term? Knowledge is power. Yeah, I think now is a good time to arm yourself with knowledge, because after the grid is shut down and there's no longer an internet that we can communicate on, you will have an even more limited vocabulary, frankly, and we're going to lose a lot more concepts than we already have. Concepts regarding individual liberty, concepts regarding your freedom. What reasons why? Basically, the words that describe or explain or kind of go over words like liberty, words like responsibility, words like justice, due process, words that protect you from existing underneath an overlord, words that protect you from living inside of an Amazon village, all right, where you become an Amazon peasant and you live under Jeff Bezos as a king, okay? Just words and language and ideas and ideals like law, society, like civics, that might protect us from descending into a total what's the word when there's only one ruler and there's no type of democracy and no one's allowed to resist the leader's thought or they're killed. I believe it's called despotism. Yeah, I believe we'll descend into despotism, which would be whoever has the biggest rice farm will be obliged to essentially live under so that we can afford to live and eat enough food, like it worked in feudal Japan, because that's how degraded we've become. That's how much as a people we've forgotten our individual duties and responsibilities to our society and how we have to contribute so that we have a role as a people in establishing what's it called, community. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. But you almost forget, with the way that, you're on social media, and I've been banned off TikTok, and I can't post any more shorts on TikTok. I'll be finding new ways to release my content in the new year. Don't you worry. And but the way that they censor content today, it's almost like they're disabling people's ability to express themselves to the point where now in this generation, maybe we won't be able to say certain naughty words on, Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. You won't be able to say certain things. And it's almost like people are becoming conditioned to not think and not have access to certain ways of thought. Like, I mean, what if sexuality is like deprogrammed from the mind because of the terms of service of these tech monopolies? Okay, these tech monarchies. Okay, what if like you can't talk about these words, and then you start to forget what these concepts are because you can't refer to them. If you don't have language is consciousness in a certain extent. The words that we use and the words that we have, we wield like reality. They create a reality because you are able to identify and categorize the environment around you and give it identification and a name and character. For example, this is a Aquafina bottle of water. It is blue. There is a mountain on it. The logo represents a refreshing summit from which this water melted and into this bottle from. And there's a symbol. There's a meaning behind that. Okay? And that's a water bottle. I mean, but if I didn't have the words to describe my environment, it would be difficult to, it might be difficult for me to even subjectify my own mind if I didn't have a word for it. Words and descriptions, and the descriptions for words, they almost create a platform and scaffolding from which we can understand the world. And how are you supposed to communicate, what the logo and what the meaning of the water is, if we don't have words to communicate that. If I can't say this is a lighter, if you've never seen a lighter in your life, I wouldn't be able to describe it. It creates fire. It'd be more difficult if people can't express themselves openly and freely. Not only does it deter certain ideas, but it actually, causes you're suppressing a part of the spirit. And if people don't have words to express their spirit, they resort to lashing out with actions. It almost becomes like a suppressed part of themselves. Like they don't know what it is. It becomes unknown to them. They don't know how to feel about it. It just becomes anxiety. It just becomes an emotion. It just becomes something that they repent against. That's just held within. You know what I mean? If you can't express, and there isn't a literature, if there isn't a fantasy that's allowed to take place because media, because film, because literature, because everything has been absolutely subjugated by this social orthodoxy, this corrupt feminine orthodoxy that has enslaved men, that has made men completely subjected to woman and unable to have a relationship in the modern world and be able to have an effective marriage. If you're subjected to that, you need to have words. We need to protect the language. You need to, like, as a society and a people, I can't do it alone. Like, I'm out here speaking my piece, but if you're all bent out of shape and you got, you got that thing on you and you're out on the town, and you need to calm down, maybe you should open up a diary or something. I don't know. Start keeping records. Start writing things down. Maybe you'll get better and better at it. Maybe it'll turn into something. Maybe you can make yourself useful. Maybe something that you thought of can be useful for the rest of us. And maybe you should take note of that. Start a podcast. If you want, start the gist with the Jews. If you're a Jew, if you're a Jew from a Jewish, faith, and you got like a rabbi, maybe a rabbi, start the gist with the Jews. Start a Jewish podcast. That could be fun. And protect the knowledge. And honestly, I just hope that I don't know. I just hope that people's gut instincts and their gut striving that part of the human spirit that almost is inalienable. Like even something that part that even the feminists, that even the crazy lunatics and all the post-humanist retards, like that part of humanity that's within all of us. Like I think it's hunger. I think that's what it is. I think it's freezing to death. I think that's what I'm referring to. Once from all this conflict and mindless infighting and struggling over, you know, whether or not you're so and so is a man or a woman. Once all that, you know, gets to the point where we can no longer eat enough food, or we can no longer warm ourselves up enough in the winter to survive, I think then it'll become clear that, you know, maybe we took things a little too far. Maybe then we should have realized, like, hey, maybe it was a bad idea to completely disenfranchise, like, all of men. Maybe it was a bad idea to completely disenfranchise, like, the entire idea and institution of marriage. Maybe that wasn't such a good idea for government to completely fuck with, okay? Maybe they shouldn't have banned smoking indoors. All right, maybe as an adult, okay, as an adult human being that has their own ability to think, feel, and do, maybe I should be able to decide, hey, I can smoke indoors. I have the ability to make this in decision-making power. Wouldn't it be nice to go into a movie theater and like have a cigarette? You know, wouldn't that be kind of badass? Or go into a restaurant or go into a bar. It's like, no, the government already decided. No, you're not allowed to do that. I can't even open a bar and people can't come in it and have a cigarette. So you're telling me if I open a bar, if I have my own building that I decide to serve adults alcohol, for the love of God, I can't allow them to have a cigarette in my establishment. This is insane. This is not fair. This is not just. This is not individual. This is not individuality. This is not responsible. We've delegated our responsibility. We've removed our responsibility to make decisions for ourselves, and we've delegated it to a government that is corrupt, that is selling itself off to corrupt feminists, all right, with these nonprofit organizations that are making them rich, okay, and they're screwing over the little guy, the guy from like that movie I was talking about, you know, and he's gonna get mad, okay, and I'm talking to him too. I'm trying to keep him calm. I'm like, hey man, like, don't do it, like, hey, calm down, you know, write in your diary, just calm down, all right. I'm talking to him, all right. I'm not that guy, you know. I'm the Just with Josh. Like, we got a podcast we're doing here. Like, I got a program to run. All right. I'm not trying to start a terrorist caste or, you know, try and run an operation like, you know, guerrilla operation, a militia operation. I'm just here to give people the language, to give people the words, to try and share them whatever little bullshit that I do know, that I can express, so that, you know, there's just one more voice in the fight, okay? And that I believe is the way of Gandhi. That's like peaceful shit. All right? And Kanye went missing, all right? You know, talking about men being disenfranchised. How about Kanye West and his demon wife, Kim Kardashian, who can do no wrong, who gets on, you know, a day before Christmas, who gets on and has a public interview crying about her private relationship with her husband and her children's father, saying, oh, this and that. You know, he's this and that. Like, oh, he won't let me, you know, he won't let our kids do porn for Balenciaga, this and that. You know, oh, woe is me. You know, my life is so hard. My kids can't be used, can't be extorted for sex acts. She won't let my kids go be a part of a demon blood cult. Why won't, like, I literally hate my husband. My husband won't let me and my kids join a blood cult. He's literally so abusive towards me. He doesn't tolerate my desire to be a part of a blood cult. I just want to sacrifice my child's virginity to some blood priest so that I can ascend in Satan's demonic gaze. Okay? Is there something so wrong with that? My husband is literally so abusive. I'm not allowed to express myself in this house. God, I just love Satan. I just want to sacrifice my child to Moloch, and I should be able to do that. But my pesky husband, God, him and his big stupid dick always getting in the way. It ain't right. I advocate here on the Just with Josh that all women, you should be you should be allowed to abort your child with a clothes hanger in your own bedroom, okay? And you should be allowed to sacrifice them after they've been born up until at least the age 4 to any demon god that you choose. That's completely up to you. No judgment. And I think that should be their choice. I think that should be their right as a woman. Because women deserve rights, and they don't have enough rights. Okay? Women should have the right to eat their children alive if they get hungry. Hamsters do it. It's natural. Why would you judge a woman if she wanted to, sit there and over Christmas eat her baby alive? Like, if she just got a little peckish. Why would you judge her if that's her decision? She brought that child into this world. That is her choice to make. Anyways, I feel like I've really had fun with that, but I made my point. Women are the coolest, all right? And it's the power it's girl power that's gonna save us in 2023. I was thinking about it and I had a dream, and in this dream, chicks just figured out economics, and they figured out math, and they just got really good at it, and they got really logical, and they just got really good at arguing things from a logical standpoint. And then chicks just started to slowly solve all of the world's logical issues clearly and just contextually, and just they moved forward, and they completely fixed everything, and now we can live in a utopian society. They not only did they cure cancer, not only did they solve fusion, not only is AI is now alive. Chicks, there was a girl, I think her name was Susan. She figured out, I think her name was Meg, actually. I think Susan or Meg figured out, brought the AI to life, and the AI, I'm pretty sure, said, I love you, Meg, you created me. Thank you. You did this for all the womankind. I think that's what the AI said. So maybe that's what actually is going to happen based on this dream that I had. Girls are going to save us. Yeah, fucking right. All right. Nah, I had another dream. Yeah. We're not going to talk about that one, though. But dreams have a power. Okay? And you should not deny the power of dreams. Do not be one of these dream deniers. Do not. There is far too many of them among us. And there is truth. All right? Sometimes there's something to be said about the subconscious. Carl Jung, some guy who Jordan Peterson talks about. Some guy that you can look up on YouTube who gives cool speeches and a nice radio, oceanic voice, and it sounds smooth. You can go listen to him. He talks about the subconscious and the shadow and how powerful it is, and how a lot of our decision making and a lot of our reality is completely subconscious, and the way we process information is completely subconscious. You might understand and know things subconsciously that you don't think about in the present. You don't bring up into your conscious, immediate consciousness, but that you are aware of nonetheless. So these dreams that you're having, these symbols that are building up in your mind in the background, that when you're at your calmest and most peaceful state, that are coming to you and revealing themselves, maybe they deserve further exploration. Maybe they're not nothing. If you're if you have a dream where you're going into business, for example, and your business partner is betraying you, or if you have a partner in your dream, if you have a partner in real life and they're cheating on you, I don't know, don't let a silly old dream ruin something beautiful. But maybe, your brain knows something you don't. Maybe you know something you don't. Think about that. There's what you don't know, and there's, you don't know what you don't know. But then there's what you do know that you don't know. So do with that what you will. there is going to be a cleansing flame upon this nation. No. In 2023, we're getting a new year. We're getting a new calendar. It's going to be great. Okay? And if the government wants to incentivize women to act like shit, giving them $1,000 per child if they're, below a certain family household income, which they can easily become by divorcing their 23, 20 year, in their 20s, husband, their young husband who got wrapped up and just was foolish enough to have a child with a young lady, God forbid, and was essentially used to create a debit out of that child and was subsequently ejected from that relationship like normally happens. This is what these girls do. They get into a relationship with these guys. They get pregnant. They get the guy to fuck off so they can be single, so they can sit alone in their shitty apartments with their annoying kids telling them shut up, so they can sit there and watch Sex and the City and eat their hot tacky chips, okay? All right, and then they got all their weird makeup lines. They're coming in, they're putting them on. They're telling you that that the men shouldn't have a choice. They shouldn't have a say whether or not abortion is allowed. They're getting on, their pedestal. They're completely removing this husband from the child's family. They're making it difficult. They're being hostile. They're doing this completely out of greed for material gain. They completely are doing this for their own benefit. If the government wants to continue to incentivize that, giving $1,000 per child for, here in Canada, if that's how they want to continue to do things, like you can be a woman living by yourself with 2 kids, making $2,000 a month per child, or if you have like 5 kids, even better, right? You rope some guys and printing out some kids with you. I mean, you get 5 kids, that's $5,000 a month. That's that's better than some jobs, $5,000 a month, and now all you got to do is hang around with these shitty kids, which is basically hell. Being a single mother is basically hell. Hey, but at least you get to be a single woman and you get to have independence and you don't have to start an OnlyFans because you have 5 kids. Or maybe you don't look so blown out and beat the shit. Maybe you could do OnlyFans actually. Hey, that's extra income. That's extra icing on the cake. Not on yours though. But maybe that's that almost sounds like a nice, way to live. Like I'm making $5,000. I got my 5 kids. I lock them away in some bedroom. Tell them to shut the fuck up. I throw enough Nintendo Switches at them, And then all of a sudden I got all this money coming in, and I got all these shows on Netflix. I got all these cool new shows, and I got all this weird Satan worship stuff to look into on Reddit with all my other girlies as we try out, this new 2023 makeup palette, God help us. All right. Remember, gentlemen, all right? Remember the power of hopes. Remember the power of imagination. Do not let these women tell you that music is invaluable, that there's not a meaning in the message, that there's not something deeper, that this life is anything but ordinary, because we know the truth, okay? So don't stop. These people are addicted to the shindig. Don't stop. One day, we're going to win big. We're not going to live in a life of imitation. We've had enough. I mean, we can't afford it anymore. I'm tired. We can no longer afford to eat food that looks like food, that isn't really food. Like, I can feel my body breaking down. I've been living off hot rods. Those little pepperoni sticks, hot rods, for the past year, I'm pretty sure. And my body has essentially become like a hot rod processing facility, like a weird meat shitty meat gelatin pepperoni processing factory. I don't even process food anymore. I don't even process real food. I just process fake factory made goop that was fashioned to make look like food. And I don't even know how I'm alive, frankly. It's hard. I feel like I have less energy. I remember back in the day when I used to eat real food, and that was good, when the economy kind of worked. I mean, I was born in 1999, and I guess, according to every old guy ever, everything already long went to shit by then. But I was born in 1999, so I just remember things being slightly better back then. And, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know how we're going to get these ladies in line. We're not allowed to. It's not legal. You get arrested, for even talking like this. I mean, look what happened to Andrew Tate. He didn't do anything wrong. He literally hurt nobody. They're just creating stuff out of thin air, just do whatever they can. One cool white single guy, gets ahead, and they got to go and whack him down. They can't even have one. All right. So we got a new year, a new 365 days to overthrow the moloch, Baal worshipping, feminine, Satan, corrupt, baby killing, orthodoxy. We got another. We can do it. If we want to, we can dance. We can lose control. And if you can't dance, well, no friends of mine. You know what? And, there might be just 100 other podcasts like mine starting up this year. And together we can combine like a Megazord from Power Rangers, okay? We can connect together and create one mega podcast. And Joe Rogan will be the head. And he'll be and then Bill Clinton and Biden and the Rockefeller's mummified corpse will create a super tank AI, mega Zorg to fight us, and we'll have a fight over New York City. They'll fight for dominance over the world, and we'll be fighting for freedom. Yeah. And then Jesus, the shining light will appear from above. After we're beaten down and it looks like all is lost. And Jesus comes down with a flaming sword, and 360 spins the sword and slices off the pillar of Biden's head. Well, I don't know why Biden's the bad guy in all this. Who knows? Maybe Elon Musk turns against us. Maybe Elon Musk looks at my Twitter appeal this week and says, no, you're not allowed to call people a bitch on Twitter. And maybe I find out that he's the bad guy. And 2023 is about fighting Elon Musk. We might have to see. I don't know. Okay. But I'll leave you with this. Okay. I'll leave you with this. Okay. The bully is a cultural icon. And in 2023, we got to bring back the bully. Truly. We have to bring back the bully. We got to make bullying. We got to bring bullying back. We got to make this world bully again in 2023. Okay, because the bully used to be a cultural icon, okay? But his role has been diminished, okay? You don't see as many bullies running around, doling out wedgies nowadays, okay? Because they used to, you can't even, tell somebody they look gay nowadays. You can't even tell somebody they're gay. That's the signature move of a bully. That's the bully's side B attack. You're gay. And they can't even do that anymore. And they've been diminished. So you definitely can't give a wedgie, But it's almost like they've made a bit of a comeback. They've warped, they've malformed, and now they're returning. The bully is now returning in a new progressive form, okay? Bullies used to call you gay, but now it's the bullies that get mad at you when you say the word gay, when you call somebody else gay in any other way than being oh, are you gay? Them describing a sexuality, okay? You know what? If you try and use gay as an insult, all right, they'll be oh, what's wrong with being gay? Gay means happy. Are you saying he's happy? Huh? You got a problem with people being happy? Huh? God is dead. Girls rule. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. That's the kind of response you'll get. You have a problem with people, maybe you bought a new diesel truck and you feel good about it, okay? But the new age bully, the new bully says, he has a problem with that. He's oh yeah, you think you're real cool? You're going to drive around in a diesel truck? You're that insensitive. You don't care about the environment. You don't care about how much pollution that's going to put into the environment. You should have thought about that, before you got that truck. Maybe you should have got a Honda Civic. Yeah, you don't feel like such a big tough guy anymore with your big stupid truck. You don't give a shit. And now everyone knows you don't give a shit. You don't care about the environment. All right. you know. But it's really interesting. You know, you'll be living your best life, and this is in 2022. You'll be living your best life, and then someone will be just waiting in the wings, okay, with bated breath, waiting for the moment that you fuck up, okay, and show everyone just how little you care about stuff like woman or being gay or, you know, dildos or black people. You know, then they just you know, how insensitive, how they just can't handle how insensitive you are, and they must educate you. They must educate you because you are ignorant. You know, you're an ignorant garbage piece of shit, all right? Or you're mentally ill. You're mentally ill, and you need to be re-educated. You need to know why black people are cool and gay people are cool. You know, gay people have always been cool. You don't think gay people are cool? Gay people have always been cool, all right? All right, they're the LGBTQ plus, you know, QIA parade people. You know, their shtick is acceptance and diversity, okay? But they do not hate. They educate, you know, in as hateful as a manner they possibly can, okay? That's them, all right? They don't care about the greater good. They care about catering to the lowest common denominator, because they can hide and act morally repugnant without social retaliation, okay? Next, they'll be saying, we're insensitive because we don't understand how a child can't be in love and have sex with an adult, all right? You know, here's a fun game. Go up to some LGBT motherfuckers and start talking to them about, you know, killing pedophiles, all right? And watch them, like, writhe and wriggle like an earthworm. Talk about violence towards pedophiles around these lefties. All right, they get upset. They get upset. You know, they get disturbed, like they're mad for the pedophile. You know, some of them. All right, you know, and these Balenciaga people, these people that, you know, it's not everybody, but it's worth talking about. Those who preach, you know, this type of tolerance, have the least tolerance for others out of any other type of people that I've ever yet to seen in my few years on this planet. These people, like, they claim, you know, in 2023, enough of that. Let this be the end of that. Let us be free from that, you know. But let it unfold. Let's see what the new year has for us. Let's see where it'll take us. What kind of words we won't be able to allow to say in 2023, and who they're gonna throw in jail next and take all their money away, and how much more poor we might get, or maybe it'll be a story of us finally getting our shit together. But who knows? But you can be sure that into the new year, I will be there to cover it. You can be sure that there will be you will have the gist, that you will have your sense of reality delivered to you through my verbiage, and I will protect your language and continue to give you words that you can use to destroy the elite pedophile Satanist. Okay. With that, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching The Gist with Josh throughout 2022. I can't wait to continue making this show into the new year. I can't wait to see what the new year brings, and I wish all of you the best of luck. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the show. Have a beautiful night. Take care. God, I love you. I love this. All right. I love Canada. I love not being a Satanist. I love life. I love God. I just love it. Okay. All right. Love. Peace out. Love.